All right, welcome to the Patriot Hour for Saturday, December 8th, 2018. We got Ben in the studio with us. Will be joining us here in a minute. I put a link out to the Patriot Hour, so we'll see if that helps bring some people on over here. We hope that does. We got a little Saturday night Red Pill segment going on here. Again, we got Ben in, so without any further ado, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by, folks. Please subscribe to the Patriot Tech. This is basically our Patriot Hour 2.0, due to the fact that we no longer have privilege to go live due to a video getting banned overseas. One of the many countries that didn't like what we were saying, so that unfortunately gets us blocked. So join in if you're linking over. If you got here from the Patriot Hour and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. All right, without further ado, we got Ben in the studio.
What's up, everybody?
All right.
Hear them all in good. Yep. Nope. A little remoting in the studio. Excited to get another little Patriot Hour live here on the Patriot Tech, our backup channel. Again, what Mike was saying. Until they give us access back to our live, back at the Patriot Hour. We'll keep on rocking it here. Had some pretty awesome guests, by the way, in the studio this last few episodes, man. Pretty awesome stuff with Mike and Mr. Giles.
Yes. Good stuff. We were real happy that Scott and Jaws was able to stop by, join us in the studio. Folks, we got big things coming. We got this last few weeks, I've set up a few people remotely. We got, a couple of people that are going to start being more regular, other than Ben. We got like maybe Woodman. He's going to be joining in hopefully once a week. Scott, he's getting some extra gear that we're looking at today, so he'll be able to join in more frequently and regularly. And we're going to show you guys how easy this is. That way you can join us as well. We talk about having the call-ins. We've seen a few people. It's really just boils down to signal, your reception, if you are going off your cell phone towers or if you have Wi-Fi at home. But it seems like with this vMix I can shove return bandwidth to help. So we're looking into that. But what else? What's going on in the world today? We got 96 in the room, so it looks like the Patriot Hour is kind of working. Getting some of the good folks over here.
20 here, man. Yeah, no, you guys are doing awesome. Obviously, give a big shout out to all of our moderators, all of you guys. Some crazy Q drops been happening, big stuff on the hill's been happening. Although interesting, what I haven't been hearing a lot of chatter about is this whole quote unquote migrant caravan and all that's going down in Tijuana. Got pretty hot and heavy. It went away for a little while, so pretty interesting. I don't think the people went away. They're still there, so I think
thought they did call it quits, and a big chunk were going away. That's the last I did hear, but
yeah, we're kind of up in the air on that one. So I thought that was a interesting little blip on the radar there. So no, great stuff happening this weekend though. Excited about Monday coming up here. There's another business this week and closer. We say the 13th.
Yeah.
What's happening there? We've had some, you were saying there were some people testifying yesterday in court, and, or was it Friday?
The 13th. Yeah. I know it's the 13th. So we also heard today that Kelly will be leaving by the end of the year. General Kelly, that was Trump's, what was he, the head of Chief of Staff? Yeah, House of Chief of Staff.
Okay.
John Kelly, end of the year. So it's been 17 months, by the way.
Really?
When he leaves, yeah.
That's when he's retiring. He started 17 months ago. And
let me read this here. President Trump on Saturday said that White House Chief of Staff John Kelly will leave his position at the end of the year, which is this year, after swirling rumors that his 17-month-long tenure in the Trump administration was nearing its end. Trump spoke to the reporters outside of the White House today, called Kelly a great guy, and said it will be formally announced within the next few days. So it's interesting.
It totally sounds like President Trump. He's a great guy. He's doing good things. He's a good man.
Yes.
17 months though, crazy. His tenure, 17 months. Is that quinky dink? Is that kind of little howdy ho to Q? Little hats off, little tip of the brow to Q, if you will. Uh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
I find it. Here I got a little technical issue. I'm gonna let Ben talk for a minute here, just for a second.
So
Give
no,
him
I
the
definitely
floor.
want to say like this. It's just awesome having you guys come out here. I'm just gonna give a bunch of shout out to all who's on here. Obviously, L at 1978, super awesome. We have Connie, Grandpa C, Gary, Devi, whatever. Fluid Pour by Art by Greg, Lisa Miller, Christian DeSoto, Belinda Cavizos, and Stu
Shirley.
Russ, man. All
Shirley
kinds
Elkus.
of people in here. Yeah, awesome Patriots.
Hey, this is a record for the Patriot Tech right here with 161 that I'm seeing in the room for sure. So
That's amazing, amazing.
let me ask, did you guys get the alert on the Patriot Tech, or did you come from the Patriot Hour? It really helps us to know if the little alert videos help, the warning videos that get
Yeah, I
put to
mean,
the
like I
Patriot
said,
Hour.
we're trying to exactly.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
All right, well, make sure you guys subscribe over here to the Tech. Doesn't cost you anything. It's free.
Free.
Just a little bit of time. A little bit of
Give
time,
it your time, people.
patience, and
No, I don't know if you had one. I didn't get a chance to see your the last full episode, last couple episodes, totally in full. We were talking about the little envelope falling out of Clinton's itinerary of George H.W. Bush's funeral, when all the presidents and prior presidents and the first lady and the prior first ladies all sat down. They all got the little itinerary of how the funeral procession and how the ceremony was going to go, and Clinton. Oh, Hillary got a little envelope fell out of hers, and
I saw that.
yeah, very interesting. And of course, Carter, the President Carter was like thinking that he was out of the loop. Like, where's my card at? It has the special information on there. So I think that we were talking about that back in Garage Talk, and very interesting. Passing notes in class or at a funeral,
Yeah.
messages sent, little
I saw
personal.
a couple different. I mean, it's almost impossible to exactly know what it said, but
It's
there was
all
another
fake.
one I saw with Barbara, or what is it? What's George Bush's younger Bush's wife's name?
Not Laura, but
Laura Bush. She was showing
could be.
Jeb
Okay.
something, and then his face looked all like
Huh.
it's pretty interesting. Like she was
What is
showing
his
him what.
There's a bunch of indictment numbers, and he knows exactly what those are. Yeah, let's see here.
All right. Putting a couple of things out here, folks, just to get everyone linked over. Making sure all the social media is covered. Paste.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
No, I'm just kind of looking at just different news about what's happening around here. And we're looking at, what Comey's talking about Hillary Clinton's emails again. He's getting interviewed.
There we go.
After closed door meeting, of course, pretty upset. He didn't want to go in the public. There's no way, even though he was telling you he wanted to speak in the public, and I think you've covered this in your last one, or what he was talking about. He does not want to go in closed doors, people, because there's no pleading the fifth. There's no information that comes out. Can be due to national security. We can't talk about it. That's why he was speaking for a public forum. So,
Yeah.
according to Real Clear Politics, this was yesterday. It says after 6 hours of testimony on Capitol Hill, former FBI Director James Comey gave a quick preview of what we will learn when the transcript of questioning is released. Comey said he was ask a whole lot on Hillary Clinton's emails, which will bore you. Why is he gonna put that in there? Of course, you know it's not gonna bore us. Those are juicy. Those are sweating with truth and information, people. You know, get
What
my
did
jowls into that meat.
Um,
Let's see what else we have.
what I saw
here.
Trump's. I thought I saw something on Trump getting charged by the DOJ. They're saying that even though Cohen was a liar, they put down tons of times they can't trust him. But, at one point he did say something and they're going to run with it. I don't know. It's probably nothing to talk about, getting anybody worked up over, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think, hey, he got wrapped up under some personal issues, and I don't know, how do you throw, what do you do with that? Well, he got wrapped up in something that has nothing to do with the administration, has nothing to do with the collusion and Russia, any of that stuff. And so, hey, he got hemmed up on something personal. He's trying to latch on to the Trump administration. We'll see how that plays out. I don't know which way. Again, I wasn't there.
Again, even the experts are like, can he be charged while sitting as president? And it's like, well, that's yet to be seen, and done.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't know. All right, so what's some meat? We got no new Q, nothing new.
No, it's been kind of, like I said, quiet on the Q side that I see up in here.
So what do we have coming up on the dates? Let me get back to this Q post. I'll pull this up.
Let's see what it says on there, some of the dates. I'm kind of quickly scamming over it right now. Scamming. I'm perusing.
Committee calendar.
I just see where he was talking on the 5th, controlled media, controlled Hollywood, controlled blue check mark, twit chills, etc., etc. I love it when he says sheep no more, when the team says sheep no more. It's a great, like, where we go one, we go all.
Yeah, we could talk about Pence here. All right, check it out. Let me get your volume back on. All right.
There it is.
That. Okay, so
it's a little bit grainy on my end over here.
Yeah, I turned it down because you were crackling up, but I'll turn you back up here.
Okay.
How's that?
No worries.
Is that better?
A little better. That's perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Full committee business. Wait, what is this? What am I on?
Okay. The committee repository. See what's happening on.
So that was the one that got rescheduled, right?
Okay, yeah. Examining Google in his data collection. So they all got all of them got both of them both days got rescheduled, and so we have coming up tomorrow? What's happening like the 9th and the 10th here?
Well, the 9th is Sunday.
But you have a subcommittee on Africa, global health, no. And then Monday, so the committee on the judiciary, accountability of Google.
That's
so that's
doing
what they've
Google
been
data collection.
So these are the ones that were rescheduled.
I don't see nothing else.
Yeah, so that's what we have so far about. What we're trying to do, folks, is just kind of see what's on the repository versus right now, currently, versus what Q has put out to us. Just kind of we're just doing a little bit of hunting here. Just seeing what sticks.
So we know this whole oversight of nonprofit organizations, a case study on the Clinton Foundation. That's December 13th, 2 p.m. It's a subcommittee.
So that's when the hearing's going to go. I think, yeah, I don't know, you've been over there.
So then again, we could look at this.
Which is like super awesome. Gotta see that call sign. A little bit of Q0.
Yeah, Toxic
You got
59.
the,
Look at that one. So I wonder how
Street.
call signs are come up with. Does anyone know how that works?
Yeah, maybe that when you're talking over comms, because you have the registration number, and you can tell the governmental registration numbers over or Air Force versus some other stuff is a little bit different. But when they go the call sign, that's hey, this is floppy ears to Big Dog over. Your call sign's Big Dog.
Let's look at some comments here. People are Qcraft. Wasn't it 10 Days of Darkness? I think the 10 Days of Darkness is going to be the media blackout of sorts. I don't know. Ben, you can explain that a little better, what we've talked about, garage talking.
Yeah, I would think that would be more of an informational and communication breakout. Why would the president basically activate the emergency broadcast system if you can still get your information from CNN or ABC or Fox if there's like a national emergency, right? Every time the president comes on to give a speech, every single news outlet has him speaking, correct? So why would he use that? It's going to be a darkness. It's not going to be power outage. I don't think it's going to be a power outage. I think a lot of stuff is going to be done functional right, but if the communication, the comms are down, like cell phones and things of this nature, just start to think about what all technologies run off of cell phone technology. I'm not talking about the stuff you just talk in your hand. This is also transactional stuff. So I think it's going to be information and possible, this could be doing something with just take down of one regime while one other one steps in, and you're going to be direct comms with the president through the emergency broadcast system. So,
real quick, are we getting how's our comms? I keep hearing Ben crackle up. Is that just my headphones? Because I got my volume down so low, so maybe it's crackling out. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, let me know.
Are you guys hearing that, or is it just in my end maybe?
It says Ben, check your microphone.
Did you guys hear it too? Do you guys hear a little static? Yeah, static. Sounds good. Heard it. Ben's mic. I mean,
all right.
Now I don't hear it.
Is this,
Was it just unplugged a little? Go ahead and talk.
Reinforced the plug in there and made sure the wire was good. Is it good now?
I hear nothing. You guys,
what it is, folks. All right.
Alrighty. That's how we do things on the fly around here. It's no big deal. Little technical issues.
That's what it is. We'll get it rock into it.
All right. So, again, we got quite a few people joining us here, setting records at the Patriot Tech. We are just kind of, going over some breaking news. There is no new Q, but we got it all, folks. I mean, we really do.
Well, I think also Mike and I were talking in Garage Talk, and if you know there's 10 days of darkness coming, if you know it's going to be coming, I'm not saying like I know it like the sun's going to rise tomorrow, but if we're believing in this Q thing and we're following along, we're trusting the plan, and we know there's going to be some time, there's going to be 10 days of darkness, then I guess I wouldn't say live your life to expect it, but know it's coming. So don't, if when it happens, you shouldn't be like caught off guard. I guess if I can say that word, if you know it's going to be coming, 10 days of darkness. Well, what does that mean? You know, each person kind of has their own little their theory to that, but just put the dots together when it comes to emergency broadcasting system, and
Yeah.
I would guess they prepare in any
We
way
talked about
you.
this. We don't know if it, our cell phone is still going to work. Is it okay to call somebody? Because they don't really know nothing from the media. So you can call your aunt in West Virginia, and she's not going to know anything more than what you would, other than what's maybe coming directly to your phone. I don't know. These are all theories because it hasn't
We don't
happened.
know either. Yeah, I mean, like you guys are asking, when is it going to happen? We have some ideas. I honestly thought maybe it was going to happen before the midterms, trying to get that whole shakeup going. But that's something that didn't shows. I mean, December
This
5th was
whole
supposed to be
so
something happening.
somebody put Caddy or Mason Gobin. I missed that Q post. 10 Days of Darkness? Question mark.
Okay.
Again, it's just it's talked about that there won't be. It's to stop the fake news. Okay, it's to get rid of the. It's to get rid of what's going on. Okay, so here I'll pull that post up for you.
E8 was there you go. Sweet, sweet. You're on top of it, brother.
Get these off. Okay, so post 88, yeah, back in over a year ago at this point. 10 days, darkness, scare tactics, MSN, mainstream media. Democrats failing, Republicans walk away and removed. So there's all kinds of. Did this 10 days already happen? I don't remember the blackout. Now, we are getting blackouts. What does blackout mean? Does it mean cut off, or does it mean that they're not going to report on anything true? Or like, the stuff going on in Europe and they're total blackout. We're hearing blackout. There's a blackout.
Well,
I don't know.
Trump tells us post 425. This came to the 22nd of December 2017. He posts an anonymous
Trump.
post
You said
that
Trump.
says Trump. Excuse me. Q. There you go. No shutdown. It seems, and then Q replies, "Define shutdown." So again, define shutdown. What is ATL shutdown? Will NK be shut down?
Ooh,
So
I was actually down there in
mhm,
Atlanta when that shut down around that time.
mhm.
Will
So he
North
says
Korea be shut
define.
down? Who controls
Yes,
North
who
Korea?
controls it?
10
Move
days of
leverage to capture
darkness.
the flag.
I have a question. The
So
10 days of darkness. When? Shutdown.
shutdown. Now, when do we have governmental shutdown? Isn't that what we're going through right now? We're trying to do the book so our government doesn't shut down.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at this, and of course, we're only trying to be logical in this. So if we see that shutdown, when do we normally have in our cycle of government where we have possible shutdown? Well, every time we do try to balance the books, right? And when they're talking about, well, the president could shut down the government and put a kibosh on all this immediately. So that could be, is that what we're saying? Is that what's going to happen indefinitely? We're just going over what we saw here, the Q, and what the search bar pulled in when we typed in 10 Days of Darkness. So go for yourself for sure. I know that whenever any of these videos or episodes comes out, the Patriot Hour always puts on a link below to the Q map. It's always there. Check it out for yourselves.
Yeah,
It's a
we want
really
you guys
cool.
to get in there yourselves.
Dig it, yeah.
And
Tell us what you think about the 10
experience
Days of
for
Darkness.
yourselves. Yeah, we definitely promote the individual on the other end of this feed. Do as much as you can. We understand we help. We want to guide you. We don't want to mislead you. So we put the links there for you to be able to use. It's if you're able to click into this video, you're able to click into that link. So again, it's And there's lots of theories, and we don't want to promote or do any kind of fear tactics or fear mongering. But again, if you have an idea in your own head of what the 10 days of darkness means, prepare to that. You can't be wrong. If you prepare around what you think it's going to be with all your collective data, all the dots,
Yes.
and I think we're all pretty much around a common thread, but prepare around that. What else can you do?
Yeah. What? I mean, live your life, be happy, be free, but prepare that something beyond your control right now is going to happen because we put that control in our president right now and our belief in the Q team to see us through this darkness. So
All right, we
it's
got
only 10 days, it's not
yeah,
that bad. 10 days. It's not even 10 business
it's a
days.
walk in
Come
the
on now,
park.
folks. That's like 2 weeks. Really?
Mike
10
M.
days.
We got Mike M. Any theories on Gaudi's next role? I think he was
Ooh.
stepping down to get back into, you know, the courtroom type setting, right? He was gonna maybe go be a
He was
judge or
saying
something. I think he'd be a good
I
judge, but
I
I don't
think
know.
he wanted to keep on pursuing defending law.
Yeah,
Although how he put that, he could be defending law at the highest levels
yeah.
of the court too. We don't know.
So that's a good question. Gaudi has seemed to be one of them fighting for the right for a long time, like for the right cause, not the right Republicans, but just the right
I like
thing.
his moral values. I've caught
Yeah,
him a few
it comes
times over
across
the years, and
awesome. He's
yeah,
yeah,
I like his. Now if he was blackmailed and was dirt, this and that, from what I've seen and what's out in the public, he seems like a pretty no nonsense kind of stick to the truth kind of guy. So
that's what I think.
until something else, no, I come out. I'm pretty much. He's a good guy in my book. He's done his job well, and if he wants to step down from representing the people to fighting for law, who knows what position he may go. So hopefully, that little bit spawned off to a little bit of research on that.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, yeah, James Courier, maybe Trump's new attorney, along with Sukalo, maybe. Yeah, could be
Man,
replacing Supreme Court Justice Ginsburg.
nice.
I don't I
For the
don't
first
know. I
time,
know
folks, I'm
that's
messing with the EQ for Ben's voice here on the digital one that's built into vMix, and man, I'm getting some. You're sounding a heck of a lot meatier.
meteor,
We're
huh?
learning a
We're
little bit
learning.
more
We're
full
getting better,
range.
folks. Nice.
All right. So, okay. So, what was the last thing you were just talking about there? So sorry to apologize. Let's go to another question. What else you guys have for us? Throw something at us. We're gonna
They
only
were
go
listening.
here.
Yeah.
We're at about the 29-minute mark. We got another half hour. We should probably talk about maybe here next night or two. Actually, Monday. We're gonna do this. Dang it! And it's gonna be a Monday morning. We'll go as late as we can, starting wise, but it's gonna be like 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right,
So we're
10
we're
a.m.
gonna shoot
Eastern
for it.
Standard Time. We're gonna have a live show. But maybe tomorrow night we can do another one and try to have a call in. It's too late in this episode to try to pull something off. I'd have to create so. But I was
It's
just
too much.
thinking.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm definitely down. Possibly tomorrow. Tomorrow in the afternoon, evening time.
Yeah, would you guys want to
When the
call in
show is.
tomorrow, late afternoon, later in the evening? I mean, we got a couple different times we can do it, but
Hmm.
we'll see. That'd be interesting. Okay, so let me see.
I'm seeing a little bit of chatter here on the DEWs, the directed energy weapons, chatting around here. That's interesting.
Who's that now?
One person. Oh, they're just a little bit of chatter, but I'll give a heads up. There are DEWs out there, y'all. One says, "I think the UN is behind this border invasion as well as George Soros." I definitely agree with the George Soros half of that. The UN, possibly. I know people like George Soros has a big hand in the UN and in funding, and people like that have their own lobbyists and get people to do what they want them to do if they can accept money. If you got that much money, then you can do a lot of things that a lot of us who don't have any can do.
Yeah. It seems like we've kept the countries, not we, but just the system has kept the countries that are poor, for reasons. Countries without a real big history of issues. There's been wars created for them to help displace. Q has told us the biggest reason people lobby for the border. We all make it about the issue of migrants, but bigger than that is the drug flow, the human trafficking. That everything's related to that.
Sure.
I know they're all upset with Trump, like he went down and threw a smoke grenade or gas at these people. But if you look into even the last presidency, the ones before, there's been times where they've accidentally handed hundreds of kids back to actual traffickers, because they couldn't verify who's who, and people don't, kids don't really
Whose
typically
kid was
have
who, and
IDs and stuff. Our kids in the United States don't typically have IDs. Do you think third world, last night I was driving, running to the store or whatever, and on the radio, there's talk radio on, and this cop calls into this show, and he's like, hey, I pulled these people over, and they were talking about illegals, and he goes, and a lot of times they don't hardly speak anything. They hand me a chancellor card or consulate card from Mexico, and all that states is that they are a citizen of Mexico. Totally
states.
pretty much means they're not one here, if that is like the only kind of ID they have. But and it's like this guy's like, you'd think there would be a number for me to call to the federal government. Like, we pulled this person over. This is all he's handing me. He's got nothing else. We can't even bring him up into the system. Talk about the American that lies to the cop that doesn't have, I don't have my ID. What's your name? And I just saw an episode of Cops of this where the guy gave him a name and gave him a birth date, and the cop goes and pulls it up on his computer, and he goes, this ain't you. And then he goes, let me see your wallet. Because the guy had a wallet, but he just didn't hand an ID. He goes, I don't have an ID on me. So that gives the whole wallet to the cop. Cop pulls stuff out, and he goes, oh, these have a different name. Is this you? Pulls that one up. It's the picture of the guy. So, he was able to verify. The guy was lying, gave him a false name, pulls up his dad. Dude was giving him his dad's name and dad's birth date. It's hilarious. But this guy told the cop, he goes, yeah, you're right. They're, dude doesn't have a license. He's driving, and you pulled him over. He hands you this card telling you he is a citizen of Mexico. And what do you do?
It just doesn't fly. Yeah. What are you going to call? I mean, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that, they're going to say, well, you can call the ICE department of your agency or your department.
But
or
if it's in a
whatnot,
sanctuary city or state,
yeah,
they don't want you doing that.
Above your pay grade.
Yeah. It's like the state has deemed it like it's too much time for you to, you call into dispatch, but you can't call another maybe 1-800 federal number to say, hey, we caught this guy. We don't think he belongs here.
We were talking about Firewatch in a few episodes back, and when you're sitting on Firewatch, even the most insane idiot of a soldier can be sitting there, and you look left and right, and somewhere there's a huge placard of numbers of what to call, poison, fire, this, that. So any idiot can just pick it up and call that number, and you'd think they'd have that same little cheat board that we had like on Firewatch that had, okay, this is this. I have this number right here. It's right in front of me, but who do you call 911? Who are they going to call? First responders? That ain't the FBI, folks.
Yeah. Yeah, what did happen, I was hearing Antifa up in Seattle. They got hit up. Didn't they? You guys know anything? I'm looking at some I saw
didn't see it.
Tucker
I
on
saw
it.
a video that they were Antifa. That there were a couple
They're
of
out of
guys
control, is what I was
sporting
seeing.
their AR-15s and
Yes.
blocking the sidewalk. Now they're allowed to sport their AR-15s and their firearms as long as they're open. That we give them just as much.
But not in a
Um,
threatening manner or
no, they weren't brandishing. He wasn't
brandishing. Okay,
brandishing.
okay.
He was just standing there. However, they were blocking a public sidewalk, and that is a violation
And if
of.
you have a gun and you're blocking it, it makes people a little bit more timid. Just like, get out of my way.
That's a little bit. Now you're using now that is considered brandishing, or I wouldn't say exactly brandishing, but you were. And so on the video I saw, the cops quickly was like, you better unblock that sidewalk there, partner, or you could be going to jail. And it's not just for blocking sidewalks because you're armed.
Yeah.
And the guy quickly got out of the way. And the little sign came down, and the pedestrians were like, thank you, thank you. And the cops like, all right, you guys can start moving on. And one guy's like, don't tell me what to do. I'll stand right here. The cop's like, well, do what you want. I'm like, well, thank you. So it's that's a little bit of the Second Amendment hating, false flagging. Really, Antifa members going to come with AR-15s, but isn't that what they're fighting against? Like anti-fascist, anti-fascist? Isn't that what it's all about? And they quoting the Marxist playbook. That's what Antifa is. And you have them out there standing with weapons. Do you see like a duality of reality conflicting right now?
Oh,
Usually
yeah.
it's the Antifa, like, we want no guns and all this kind of stuff, and it's all about the freedom and corporate, because the firearm that the arm that man, the AR-15 that man was carrying, who built that? A huge corporation, big giant corporation, probably had governmental contracts. You're going to buy a cheap one? No, they're not very good. You probably bought an expensive one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They carry governmental contracts, and they make them for the soldiers as well. So how anti-fascist are you, brother?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When him sitting there carrying a gun, so...
Now, we don't normally do this at the Patriot Hour, but we do have, why not? Why can't we? Snow and flash flooding threaten 20 million plus in the South. I'm seeing here, so I just wanted to.
Hey,
that's
if you're in the
crazy.
South, man.
Yeah, they're showing the. Pull this up right here.
Well, this is the monsoon season for this area. That obviously.
Yeah, Florida, New Orleans, Alabama.
Look at that.
But yeah, no, a major storm is threatening an early than usual winter stew of snow, ice, and flooding across parts of the southern United States over the next few days. So last year when they got some snow in Georgia, that was really odd. Florida, Georgia, and they're showing it.
Yes.
That's crazy.
A little bit of weather warfare, altercation,
and they're not,
if you will.
They are not, used to that. It's like when I was stationed out in, Norfolk. It's like, in the 5 years out in that area, we only got a little bit of snow one time I could remember, and it actually was coming down and sticking just a little bit. Didn't get inches. I don't think it was more than an inch or two, but man, roads are
Still
dead.
an anomaly in that area.
Yeah,
That's something that
people don't know how to handle it, and really they don't. I'm out there having a good time. I got my license in the winter, learned how to drive in the snow. I was all about it. But in these areas where they don't get it, when they do get it, watch out, because they are dangerous.
And think about it, folks. I mean, it's not just, people are that. No, it's the Department of Transportation in those areas. If you think Colorado's Department of Transportation is going to be equipped for hurricanes, no. I'm just using it as a point for the saying that their snow cleanup and ice storms, like their actual cleanup crew, and their municipalities, they're not even equipped to handle that type of weather at this point in time, or it's not enough. So that's not normal weather for that area. And I'm pretty sure somebody's going to say something in the effect of, global warming or this and that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
But it's...
No, that's right. Well, are you guys in any of these areas that are going to be affected? Let us know here in the comments. We'll see you guys are kind of talking about what you're getting, what they're projecting.
Yeah, because we're reading over here as well. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm like, and it washes out. You guys can't really doesn't come across, but I'm reading along with you.
And again, you guys check the links down below. We do not have super chat or any of that going on here in the Patriot Tech. Our numbers are so low. I don't know what has to happen to make all that work, but
Mm,
I think I got to link
see
some
it.
stuff up. But anyway, check the links down below. We got the PayPal, Patreon if you're looking
Right down
to
below.
donate and support the Patriot Hour in any shape or form. What do we got here? My daughter's in Alabama. Susan. Daughter's
I
family's in
see.
Alabama.
We had two tornadoes 2 weeks ago in New Zealand. Marty Jackson. Weird. Is that what I'm saying? New Zealand. Is that what you're calling, or is that what
I'm not even
you're
seeing
giving
that
what's
comment.
up from? Mudslides in Lake Elsinore, California. Real mess out here is all the fires. Yeah, and that's pretty sad too. The fires out there. You know those guys. It's come out big time that lack of maintenance caused the fires, and some of the other ones is still out there to be determined. So I got here the Upper Peninsula of Michigan is in Eskimo weather. Yeah, the Upper UP. You guys get that Michigan weather.
Yeah. For 2019, we will have a probably most likely a PO box. Supposed to
Yes,
have one
I
set
think
up
you were talking
months
about that.
ago. Just never have done it. But I know, and no disrespect, we've had people wanting to send stuff or things they've made. I had just dropped the ball on that, but we will have a PO box available here soon, folks, for those that want to send old school letters or just
And we
that's
still
another
hear
way.
you. We're still looking at the studio down there. Still kind of getting stuff together. Obviously, life has hit the both of us, and we're still trying to get this out to you as much as we can. Um,
Most important thing, yeah, we don't ever want to take away from the show. Like we want to do everything more, but we just want to keep the flow the same. Like, we don't want to be too distracted. We almost got there a month or so ago, kind of getting off track and going down rabbit
mhm.
holes of other ways. So it's just stay the course.
Yep, we're sharing the course. We know there's some big stuff. Big stuff is coming up. With this changing of exodus from coming out of DC area. January 1st. This
So
2019 is a pretty big date.
let me ask you that. We'll play devil's advocate here for a minute. What
Okay.
is your biggest, when somebody tells you nothing's happening, this ain't blah, 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 what do you like to tell them? What's your new thing now in the last couple years compared to recently when, it's like, what can you give somebody in a, if you're only got a minute or so to tell them, because most people are
What's
going to
some
listen for
good
12
talking
minutes.
points if somebody's asking what's so good about Trump and what he's doing the
Or
last
what
couple
has he
years?
done? I thought he was going to drain the swamp. I haven't seen that happen at all.
And you can say, well, actually, I've seen a whole bunch of draining of the swamp, and you can start bringing up all these people retiring and leaving, and the head of the FBI, the assistant director of the FBI. We're talking all kinds of people coming down, and that's only a very small handful of them are due because of the service they've rendered. People are actually retiring early and retiring without benefits and going away. So
So you're
there's a
like
huge
me. Yeah.
indicator.
You're going to
Yeah,
take
there's
it
that one.
to, you're going to take it to look at the already dismissed heads of the agencies like the FBI, DOJ, number twos and threes and fours removed. Not all, not all of them. Yeah, I think there's still a person here, a person there,
Sorry.
but the majority have been
Well,
removed.
then
So I
my other
agree.
talking point, yeah. So you can look at the justice side, or at least that part of it, where something's happening there. Of course, the indictments. You can say that, name that. Although, if people don't understand that, that's a hard truth to stand on when you're talking to them. Another good thing that's always a good talking point to somebody who's a sheeple, who's not quite awake, would be the GDP, the gross domestic product. We have some new numbers coming soon, which I'm pretty excited about. So they haven't come out yet. The last numbers was 4.25%, I think is what it was, 4.24 something, which was a growth, and
Well, the
that's a
GDP
huge
we're
record.
talking. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how much money America is making profit. If you can put that in like real simple terms, we've made this much more profit than we did last quarter. We've gained 4+ points of profit, which is really huge in one quarter, honestly,
Yeah.
for our country. And people are like, well, okay. Then you ask them about the trade deals. Wait a minute, what about that? Because my whole lifetime we have the North American Free NAFTA, North American
You're-
Free Trade Agreement.
Yes.
Um,
I think your mic's
so it's
clicking a hair again.
Is it? I don't know. Maybe it's time for a new cable to my mic. How about that one? Am I pretty good, people? Is that here good, Mike?
Yep. It was just cutting out, just intermittently drops and clicks.
Well, let me know. I might have to go search around for another chord next little episode. So
What
I
do you-
use those points,
Alright,
but
that is-
also it's like the money aspect of that, of how much money it's happening. So if you did nothing else and if everything stopped, you have the trade agreements that has some of the record deals that have never been made before, and not just deals with a bunch of countries like the European Union, but
Well, it's like when
individual
unemployment
countries.
drops or anything, they're you got like Obama or the media giving credit to him. If it goes the other way, then it's Trump's fault, and it's just unbelievable. That's always been the case, not just Trump and an Obama thing. That's been an Obama to Bush thing, a Bush to Clinton thing, Clinton to Reagan thing. It's gone back all the way to Washington.
Beginning, yeah, the
Washington,
last
he
administration
had nobody to blame.
saddled us. Yeah, we got yoked with this problem, and we're trying to fix it. But when somebody does the biggest in history, the least unemployment in the history of the United States,
Washington was able to say,
Really?
well, what did you
Yeah.
think about King George? Right?
Touche,
third.
George Washington. Yeah.
All right, we're off, but we're better, I guess. You're right. I mean,
Okay,
we were.
yes,
We
yeah.
just got away from that. So, folks, it's just a matter of logic, and just because the media doesn't narrate what's going on for you correctly doesn't mean you can't see it with your own two eyes or your
Yes.
ears, God gave you that, right? Your ears and your eyes. So it's for you to listen, you to look into it. And, if you do all the math and do all the connecting and get all of, you're going to come to a logical solution. The picture is naturally painted by the information you take in. Again, if you're getting nothing but lies and bull crap, it's hard to get that out of there. But we know that within every lie is some truth. You can't just have lies 100% all day long, everything, because then the weather
it's
wouldn't
gotta,
match up, right?
Yeah, yes, the weatherman is wrong a lot. He's right a lot. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, you can't be missing the mark. You got to be on point, and you got to be straightforward, and you got to really chew the meat and be careful because. Mike and I always say this. Don't believe what we say. The links are below to all these different places. Do the research yourself, man. It's almost like when a little kid's reading a comic book and his mind's getting blown every time he turns a page because this superhero's a twist in the plot. That's how I feel about these QAnon drops and what's going on as we're researching this stuff and as we're finding out things that I would have never, ever known and would have went to my grave ignorant of. And for some people, they're like, "Oh, how does that change your life?" Like, John Benet Ramsey, her dad. Who did her dad work for?
Yeah.
And why did he? Yeah, things like that.
These are the interesting things.
I would have never known that. Never known that. And what does that have to do with anything? Well, if you connect the dots just on that individual story, it becomes a lot more than what the media told you. And if you just did that, and that's the only thing you did in life, then that story alone would tell you that the media is not truthful.
Yeah.
Just that one point. Oh,
That's what I
we have
loved
all the
about
information.
delving into the map months ago, folks. We
Yes.
do episodes.
Yes.
We just the lines are already there. You just pick a couple out, start looking into it, and you find all this amazing coincidental things that you never heard mainstream as a kid. I mean, most of these stories, I was a kid cutting through living rooms and remember the mainstream narrative is it. I mean, on all of them, Ruby Ridge, Waco,
Yes.
McVeigh.
Yes.
I remember the common thread. I mean, the McVeigh one, I thought, wow, this guy was in the Marines and he went crazy. That's all I thought.
Yeah,
That's what they wanted me to
how
think.
did he serve his country? I mean, wow, like I got,
And if anything, check
sisters
that
and
documentary. I mean,
like
some
that.
of you are young,
Yeah.
some of you are our age, some of you are older, but check out that documentary. I can't remember the name of it. I have to find the link, but on Tim McVeigh, and he was a sheep dipped soldier. All right, he never truly got out. It's just amazing. And then if you look at the common thread of who was the head of the FBI for Ruby Ridge, Waco,
It goes
McVeigh,
on
it's a
and
common
on.
thread.
This is what we're talking about now. This is what's happening.
connections.
What Mike and I have gone over these things and looked at them through such a critical eye and exhaustive research on this stuff that it's kind of like, yeah, we've gone down there. It's almost like tiring to talk about it because we've exhausted it so much. And when Q's talking about this stuff, about what's happening right now, that's why Mike and I, when we go through these mainstream media, it's like looking at snakes from the other side of the glass. We know it's evil. It's going to hurt you if you believe it, but you watch it, you're entertained, and you do get a little bit of truth out of there because the human perception needs truth to latch on to. And it only needs to be a little bit, but it can be covered in the sweetness of lies. So you
Yeah.
got to be careful for sure. But if you can read it out, and those of you who are first learning and having a hard time, stick around with us. You'll see it real quick.
Yeah, it's just a set of tools that like we have said again in many of episodes, and just both being in the service. Looking at intel, you can't just look at the stuff that you think like, I'm only going to read this book by this person because I don't like them. I've heard it before. I will refuse to watch CNN. I hate it. I'm not encouraging you to tune into CNN, but you can stop by there. This is after you do lots of other research. You'll get to this point where you're going to want to, all right, because you have to look at all information. It's good to know your enemies. It's good to know how they work and how they lie. But again, in the intelligence or gathering of information, you have to look at the bad information, good information, what you believe to be good, and you're going to come up with something in between, what the lies are, what you consider to be the truth, and that could be your own agendas coming out. You have to be careful, but you're going to land on things that make sense and are logical, and sometimes you have to look at a lot of information. The people intelligence communities scouting out the enemy, you're going to hear a bunch of lies and chatter, and it's your job to listen to thousands of phone calls, hundreds of emails, dozens of texts, and come to a conclusive. You might be sending in SEAL team to go do something based on intel that you think you got right. So how do they do that?
Yeah, no, that's a perfect wrap up. I mean, what we're doing on a macro level, or on a macro level, what the military intelligence is doing on a micro level, and that is this: they have, they got cryptographers in the military, and all they do all day is listen at chatter all day long. Oh yeah, so and so is having issues with the mother-in-law of this guy, and they're trying to get this kid to be a bomber, but his mother-in-law is really up his butt, and he's trying to get this going, and they hear his chatter all day long, but only one little small line out of all that chatter has to do with the bomber, or this particular information, or this thing, but it's just a whole bunch of static, and that's kind of what you have to do. That's what Mike and I are doing, sifting through all the static and seeing what little nugget of information that we can piece and gather and glean from, almost like a
Mentioning
scholarly
static
detective.
You got some on your mic again. It seems like
Oh,
when you bump your desk, so it's got to be something with your cord for sure, because
All right, I'm
you
gonna
did
hook it
something.
up, people.
No, it's good.
Yep, I think I just touched it with my mouse. I'm gonna get a new cord. This one has probably seen better days.
Well,
We'll
you,
move on to
you
the
used
next
to do a lot
rotary
of
cord.
traveling because you played in a band, so he used to wrap his cords up, unplug, and plug in multiple times throughout the
Oh yeah,
months or
no.
years. So that's how those wear
I'll
down,
put
folks.
some.
It's common in the industry. But no, I agree. To wrap that all up, you guys are learning. If you want our advice, it is unfortunate that you have to listen to a lot of things. You can't just listen to what you think is the best. I do not encourage you to, now you're going to go watch CNN for an hour. No. When something big's breaking, when something's going down and you're on your favorite channel to get your information from, you can just tune in for a minute or two to see their angle and you'll see it. Sometimes with CNN or something, you'll see, and that just keeps you alert on how the enemy operates. And also, you're going to end up bumping into a family member that they watch CNN and they're going to come at you from that angle. You can already be prepared to help get the truth back out, because that's how that works.
Yeah, you're gonna know what they're gonna parrot across to you. And let's be honest. I wasn't in Mexico. I didn't see when I saw the images of the quote unquote caravan that we believe are invaders. That was all mainstream media that I was watching. Does that make it any less real? No, there were people that were really there. It's almost like you just hit mute and then you'd be fine.
Yes. Yes. So we're not telling you to watch CNN or any of these bad channels so you get brainwashed. That's why you got to watch them in little doses. It's just to keep an eye on your enemy and see how they operate and how you can maneuver. Moves and counter moves. All right, folks.
Yes, sir.
This huge, bigger picture is going to come down to lots of the little engagements that you have with your family, coworkers, friends, brother, sister, mother, father, aunt, uncle, whatever. So the better you can engage them, we're not in an age anymore where you're going to walk up, you know what, Robbie, you're right. I'm right. You're wrong. You're evil. I'm good. Now listen,
Yeah,
you're going to get nowhere.
Loving you exactly.
So, yeah, folks.
Um,
Honestly, I mean, tune them out. Do your own research. Again, like Ben said, and like we say here all the time, he had just mentioned it. Don't take our word. Do your own research. Come to your own conclusions. Do all the connecting of the dots. Chew the meat and spit out the bone. And you can't be wrong. At least you're living in a way of what you believe. All right. And that's the best you can do. You got all this information. Come to your own conclusions.
You're using your brain.
You're using your brain and having logic. So, all right, we'll shut this down. We're at the hour mark. So I'm Michael.
Perfect.
This is awesome. We had Ben.
Yes.
Go ahead and give you the final closing thoughts that you thought, or anything you want to say to the people.
Hey, my grandfather always used to say, don't believe anything you hear, see, or what people tell you. Always research it for yourself, and that's all we can always say. Take what the information that's on here and what's going out, and really do delve into it. And if you do have a question that's a burning question inside that you really want to know the truth for, don't get the information from other people. Search it out for yourself. These live shows that we do like this and bring these episodes, what Mike and the team at the Patriot Hour here, we're all just trying to honestly get the truth out to you, and this is from our heart. So if we're wrong, hey, we'll be the first to admit it, and we love to learn the truth, and this is like an adventure. You guys are coming along with us and discovering this with us, so it's pretty cool. And I just gotta say thank you for having me here in tonight's episode, and excited about possibly the call tomorrow. So again, thank you guys, and God bless and Godspeed to all of you.
All right. And there was Ben. We always it's always a pleasure to have him beaming in studio Monday. We already got plans. We already got things in the works for you guys. So we're always a day or two ahead with a show, what's going to come next, and then our research takes place as well. Some of them are a shoot from the hip. This is a little bit of we knew we were going to go live and we wanted to engage a little bit. Again, look forward to the live call-ins, folks. We're going to get more frequent with that. We've done some testers. We really like it. We've had L call in. God bless all of you guys. Robert Melendez, we're going to have him back on again in the future. And we got other people that have emailed. So again, check the email. Email us if you're interested. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe where you're from, how you found out about the Patriot Hour, and what are some of your, how did you get into the truth movement? That would be great. Just a couple of line items so we get a feel for what, who, and what, where you're from and what you're about. So just email us. Again, that's the Patriot Hour. It's it's Patriot Hour 2018 at gmail.com. All right. Go ahead and email us there. And folks, we really appreciate it. We had a steady over 200 in the room. I know a lot of that came from the Patriot Hour. Please, again, subscribe. It costs you nothing. If you want to support the Patriot Hour in any way, the Patreon's down there in the links, the PayPal, and I think there's a GoFund that's been up for going on a year. So we really appreciate it. Again, check out the links down below. We'll see you on the next show. I'm Michael. This is the Patriot Hour. God bless. Godspeed each and every one of you worldwide. And have a great evening.